Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing a shirt with a Korean woman on the front. I have a Yuna from ITZY on there. Um, as you know, since 2018, I have been in a parasocial relationship with her. And we've broken up and gotten back together several times. Yeah, I'm normal. Anyway, uh, so I'm sorry. I learned something today. I learned that the problem with the average woman is that she's the average woman. As you guys know, I've been trying my best to stay single. You can call it you can call it MGTOW, you can call it incel, you can call it whatever you want. I don't care as long as the result is I stay single. Um, because I just started to notice I mean this was years ago. I was just like, man, the average woman is just not attractive because she's average looking. And then you're like, I'm not desperate, so it's like, whatever. But yeah, like once you really immerse yourself in something like a certain media, like K-pop, where every chick is hot, every chick is skinny. Um, okay, just just trying to record here. Anyway, I'm not gonna start over. Anyway, so when you immerse yourself in certain media, once again, K-pop, every chick is hot, every chick is skinny, every chick is feminine, friendly, you know, that kind of becomes your base for what a woman should be, and which a woman should be that way because that's feminine, and then and then you compare that to your average American woman. You're like, they're kind of manly, like even okay, like I've had jobs. Let's just say like like when I worked at Target, like there's only like two or three girls there that were actually attractive because like the rest were rough around the edges, let's say, or they just weren't feminine. Um, and then like because I'm crazy, so like I think anime chicks, I think waifus are real. So I compare the average American woman to like a waifu chick, and there's just no contest. Like anime chicks put real chicks to shame because once again your average anime chick is hot. Most of them are friendly, and there's just they're just feminine. Like all of them are in shape. If there's one that is fat, it's for comedic effect. You know, so once again when you immerse yourself in that kind of media because you're just bombarding yourself with like hot chicks all day. So it just makes your average woman just ugly. So it's like you don't even notice them. Like I'll be out in public and like average women are just invisible to me. And then like every like whatever 30 women, I'll notice one. I'm like, oh wow, she's hot. So it'll be like one woman. Let's say like I'll be at Trader Joe's. Every woman is invisible, and then like I'll notice one. I'm like, oh wow. So that's what women should look like. So it's anyway. I'm bringing all this up because today was the first time I think in a couple of weeks, I actually saw an attractive woman. I was gardening. Yes, I was gardening, and someone was walking their dog, and their dog was like brushing against me because like there it was just this chick was on her phone, so she wasn't really paying attention. Whatever, it didn't matter. I was just doing the gardening. She walked by, skinny, fit, tall, blonde. She's probably like 5'8", smoking ass body, just gorgeous. And I'm like, wow, you're telling me that's what women could look like, but instead they follow this body positivity. I want to look like Lizzo bullshit. I was I was taken aback. This woman was so good looking. I'm like, wow. And then also I have a neighbor who lives on the corner. She's smoking hot, smoking hot. She's roughly like like 5'3", 5'4", whatever. But she's skinny, in shape. See, and that's another thing. The average woman is not in shape. Like just being skinny makes you hot. Because that's what I've noticed too. Like every woman that I've considered hot in the past couple of years has had one thing in common: skinny. I've never saw a fat chick and was like, "Oh wow, she's hot," or an overweight chick. I've never found any of them attractive. And like I'm not even talking like, oh, she's fat, but her personality. No, you could have the personality of like, I don't know, Lassie. And I don't know why I think Lassie has a good personality, because like Lassie was very she assumed a lot of things. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Anyway, she could have the best personality on the planet. If she's fat, no. It's just not attractive. Like they say personality goes a long way, but in my book personality only goes about 2 steps. Okay? And like 2 steps, that's what, roughly 3 feet. Okay, yeah. So that's not a long way. Looks, now for me, looks, that's like freaking flyer miles. Like you can go to like New York to London and back with good looks. Okay? With a personality now. Okay? We can drive cross country if you have good looks. If you just have a personality, maybe we can walk to 7-Eleven. Maybe I'll walk back with you. Not sure. I have to actually think about that. Anyway, my neighbor and this woman today, they are, just because they're skinny, okay, they are minimum a 7. Minimum 7. Um the blonde today, she was I want to say she was a 9. Solid 9. Not even kidding. Solid 9. And then my neighbor, the goth girl, she looks goth. I mean, she has pale skin, dark hair. She's I want to say she's an 8, which is fine. Remember, average is 5. So being a 7, you stand out, because seven's not average. So once again, if you're skinny, you're minimum 7. Okay, so it's really that simple. But see, the thing is, I read all these articles about men giving up on dating, or men getting passports. Like men going to all these different countries, um, mostly Asia. The popular ones are Philippines, um, Vietnam. Those are the two most popular for Asian countries. And then like some are going to Spain and Mexico. But see, the one thing those countries have that America doesn't have is the women tend to be skinnier. Okay, like think about Asian women. How often do you see? It doesn't matter which race. So let's just say Chinese. How often do you see a fat Chinese chick? How often do you see a fat Korean chick? Now, me, because I watch a lot of Korean TV, I think there's three. I've noticed three fat Korean chicks, and they're like comedians. So it's like the way they look actually accentuates their humor, because like someone would do physical comedy, or they'll do comedy about the way they look, and it's just funny. Like, I'm good looking and people laugh because you know you're not, because you're fat. But anyway, so like, and then, or whatever, Japanese women. How many fat Japanese women have you seen? Not that many, right? Like, I can't think of one. But, and so, like, the reason why so many men, because I read these articles, the reason why so many men aren't dating, or so many men are single, is because women aren't attractive anymore. I mean, once again, forget about personality. Men don't really care. Like, if a woman's hot and spreads her legs, a man will date a woman. Okay, that's just how it is. So it's 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 obvious. It's because these women aren't attractive. I mean, like, people people assume, because you have simps, that the average man is desperate. The average man is not desperate. Now, the problem is, the men that aren't desperate, they're not out there. So it's like, like a guy who's not looking, or a guy who's just like sick of all the fat chicks and just stays home or hangs out with his buddies, or like goes to the bar alone. He's not out there making a fuss about women. So like, you don't know that he's actually the norm. It's like, it's all these simps and people paying for 6 OnlyFans subscriptions, and like, getting rejected by every round chick that they see. Those are the guys that are making the most noise, so they stand out. Okay, but once again, the average guy is just not even trying, because the average girl isn't trying when it comes with her looks. It's like, how hard is it to like keep it? I understand if you're 10 pounds overweight, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, these chicks are like, 30 pounds overweight. Like, there's a difference between 10 and 30. Like, 10 pounds you could lose in 2 weeks. And usually, if you're 10 pounds overweight, you're probably someone who does maintain and live a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so I guess you can't count that. So I'm just counting, once again, because your average woman is fat and your average guy is fat. The average American is overweight. Okay, so once again, I'm just talking about average. So sorry, forget about the 10 pound thing, because the average woman is not 10 pounds overweight. The average woman is like 50 pounds overweight. Oh boy, but yeah, so it's not that men are giving up. It's just that men have found better things to do, and you can't force a man to be attracted to find a blimp attractive. See, but they won't write that in these articles, because they don't want to hurt people's feelings. That's why. It's all about feelings. And you've heard this before, but facts don't care about your feelings. Once again, this woman that walked down the street, her dog bumped me. This was, I think, the first time I've seen an attractive woman in a couple of weeks. And I'm just counting, the places I've been. So like the supermarket, obviously, a, a couple of errands, and like my job. Okay, so if you count all those places I've been in the past 2 weeks, this was the first time I've seen an attractive woman. That's that's saying something. Like women really need to step their game up. I'm sorry, American women. And like you wonder why, and then you add their crappy personality to their fatness. Well, of course the average man is single. The average man is single. The average woman is not. Because there's simps out there who will get with any woman. And then there's the top-notch guys who like just want to like have 5 or 6 chicks at the same time. So it's like these fat chicks do get a guy, you know. But the average guy's like, I'm okay. I'll just play video games hang out with my friends, focus on my hobbies, work out, whatever it is that they do. Because trust me, your free time is a lot more enjoyable if you're hanging out doing what you want to do instead of hanging out trying to make more space for your fat girlfriend. Okay? And then imagine if she's fat and has the crappy personality. I mean, come on. And then like you wonder why they get hit. Just saying. But anyway, yeah. So if a woman's watching this, she's like, "That's mean," and I bet you if a guy's watching this, he's like, "Yeah, you're right. This is how it is." So yeah, simps will date the fat chicks. Simps will talk to the fat chicks, and simps will get rejected by the fat chicks. Isn't that funny? Makes no sense. And then on the other side of it, the same women have like they all want the same thing from a guy, and that is finances. The most attractive thing to a woman about a man is money. So a poor man to a woman is basically the same as a fat chick to a guy. The most unattractive thing a man can be is poor. But, you know, it's hard to see a man's wallet when he's just walking down the street. So like that's why I can't have this conversation. And also I'm not a woman. But anyway, um yes, I hope no one assumed my gender and assumed I was female. Crazy leftist. Anyway, I've said enough. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Peace.